Hey, Silas here. This is going to be ignorance is not bliss. This is going against that saying that people say ignorance is bliss, and it mostly goes off of the thing where they're like, "Oh, I wish I was a kid again, and I wish I was a child. That's when I had the happiest time in my life." And in my opinion, that's not quite right. I'm sitting here in Union Square now. You can see there's a McDonald's over there. I'm going to use burgers as an example. If you have only had maybe one burger, you've had maybe just a basic double cheeseburger from McDonald's. That's the only burger you've ever had. And besides that, you might have had just some really crappy homemade one or something. But anyway, that's the only burger you've ever had. You might think this is a great burger, and you might be happy to have that burger. If somebody tells you, "Yeah, we're going to McDonald's and pick up a double cheeseburger," you'd be super excited. But there are other burgers out there. There's even other burgers on the McDonald's menu. There's the premium burgers, there's other things. So without knowing about those other burgers, you might actually have a level of happiness or joy from that double cheeseburger, but I don't really define that as the full kind of happiness you can get from a burger. Not even just McDonald's, but let's say like a Five Guys. A Five Guys makes amazing burgers. Definitely check out Five Guys if you get the chance or if you haven't. But now, if you have a Five Guys burger, that burger is always there. That level of burger joy is always there in the world, whether you know it or not. So if you don't know it, you might be able to achieve a level of burger joy from a McDonald's double cheeseburger, and that might be what you consider bliss. But somebody who's had both, once you've had both, you realize how much better the experience of a burger could be. So that experience is always out there in the world. Now, if you even go to an extra level and not just have that Five Guys burger, but you understand the process it takes to make a burger, whether you cook yourself and you can understand, wow, this is pretty awesome that Five Guys can make this quality level of burger over and over again in different ways, all over the country or different places you go. The taste stays the same, the flavor stays the same. Even going further than that, you realize this is actually employing people who can actually afford to go buy other burgers and make some money off of this. You understand the way that the food is cultivated, the buns are made, how the vegetables get to the store, the truck drivers that do this, the business planning and everything that goes into actually just having a Five Guys there able to supply you with that burger. I think that knowledge, that awareness to have that information, to me it adds to the enjoyment of having that burger. So I think this goes into other fields. This goes into other fields at all. For me, knowledge about how good the world is, with a lot of situations, good or bad, I like asking myself compared to what. And now knowledge of how good the world is today, or how bad people say the world is. People saying like, okay, look, people are lacking these things. We've had probably maybe a high level of kids still being hit. People don't have a certain number of resources. People don't have a certain number of travel. Like there's an uneven distribution of access to resources and abilities in the world, and yet we still have a world as good as it is. It could be as bad as you think. Just randomly think there's an Amish family there. Like you see, for them, even they have. I think they have this. They have this thing. I think they're Amish, but anyway, I think they have this thing where they leave their community and go out into the world, and most of them go back. And I don't think the people that go back are worse after going out. I think going out and seeing the world makes them appreciate what they have in their community even more. And I think you see this experience a lot when people kind of graduate from high school and then they go out to college. A lot of people end up coming back to their home environment, and I think that experience makes them value that more. So next time you hear somebody say ignorance is bliss, I think you should kind of think twice about that. And for me, I don't think ignorance is bliss. Knowledge definitely can be knowledge in itself. Not the opposite of it. I'm not saying just knowing things makes you happier, but at the same point, when you know something, there's certain information that once you know, it kind of gives you not a mission, but it kind of makes you more responsible. Like once you know something is bad, you kind of have to, I feel that you kind of have to, you can't just sit back on it and no longer act on it and just have some weird thing that's actually related. I'm looking to actually get into like a therapist now I've been doing a lot of self-knowledge and blogging and journaling and just self-discovery. But I think some of my trepidation for getting into seeing a therapist is I think that kind of uncovers that kind of information. That kind of uncovers the information where it's like cannot be unseen. Where now that you know that this is why you act this way, or this is what must have been hampering you, or this is something in the world that you can kind of actually do something about or should do something about, it kind of takes away the excuses. So in a way, knowledge is not necessarily bliss, but it gives you some other challenges as well. But yeah, ignorance is bliss, not quite. And now that you know this video, now you also know that the things that you may have been blissful about may not be that happy anymore. And sorry for that. Well, actually, sorry, not sorry. Till next time, like, share, and subscribe. Bye. Hey, okay, before I end the video, I want to add another part. When I'm saying the ignorance is bliss thing, I know like the bliss thing, people can argue that bliss is a subjective thing, but I think it is objective. That's why I was using a burger, because you can say like the joy somebody can get over what a burger is in and of itself can be defined by certain things, like the percentage of bread and the way the bread molds together with the meat inside and whatever toppings you have on it. Whereas if it's just general bliss, like somebody might be like, oh, my favorite temperature, like the temperature that makes me happy might be, for somebody who grows up in like Kenya and sub-Saharan Africa, they may have like very little humidity in the air, 75 degrees. That might be like a good day for them. That might be a day that makes them happy. Yet if you live in the north, let's say you were born in Siberia, your bliss may be from a different temperature. So that I get that subjective, but this is why I was using the burger situation. And I do think there's objectively a way to define what bliss is in this situation. Yeah.